Super crispy, crunchy, Japanese style fried chicken, a really creamy and yet just a little tangy potato salad. Ah, you guys, this is a dinner you're gonna wanna cook. Okay guys, so I know that we do a lot of fried chicken on my channel, and that's because I just love fried chicken, but this one is so crispy and so light, you're gonna love it. But first of all, we're gonna start with the creamy potato salad. So we're making that restaurant style Japanese potato salad that has like a tangy sort of taste to it. The tanginess comes from the pickled vegetable, which we're gonna do first. So I've got some carrot here and a little bit of cucumber, and then I wanna add some salt to that, and that's as simple as it gets for this tangy vegetable. Okay, so just squish that salt into your vegetables and you'll see it'll start to soften even just now as you're mixing them together. But we're gonna leave it, set it aside for a good 10 minutes to soften even further. And now we can get on with doing the marinade for our chicken. Now I'm using chicken thigh because I like the juicy chicken thigh. Feel free to use breast though if that's what you prefer. And you wanna add some finely grated ginger. Okay, just make sure we get all of that gingery goodness in there. And do the same thing with a clove of garlic. And then we just want some soy sauce and a dash of sake. Now, sake is a Japanese rice wine, and if you'd like to leave this alcohol free, just leave it out completely. No need to add a substitute. But alcohol adds two things, a little bit of flavor, but it's also a flavor carrier. So it will help some of those flavor molecules from the ginger and the soy sauce get everywhere inside that chicken, which is what we want. So let's talk about the flour coating for the chicken. So you could just go ahead and use regular plain flour. I've done that, works out just fine. If you want to make things even crispier, go with the traditional Japanese potato starch. Find it in your baking section, does make a big difference. Now, one other little tip about potato starch is that it's gluten-free. So if you wanted to use a gluten-free soy sauce and keep everything else gluten-free in this recipe, you could make fried chicken that's gluten-free. Okay, now the fun bit. I am gonna start frying the chicken. So to test if your oil is hot, just use like a wooden spoon or a giant chopstick in my situation. Put it into the oil, and when you can see lots of those little bubbles, then you're ready to go. Now, as with any kind of deep frying, don't overcrowd your guys in there. Give them plenty of space to get nice and crispy and crunchy. And doing this in batches means that the oil stays nice and hot. When you put too much into your oil to deep fry, temperature drops, everything gets soggy. That's not what we want. Now just keep these pieces moving around, flipping them over, make sure they don't get any uneven brown spots. Okay, so these are looking good. Oh, so crispy. Now just drain them on paper towel, and as with anything that comes out of the hot oil, just give them a sprinkling of salt while they're still warm, and that all that salt will stick to the outside. Okay, this chicken is looking amazing, and I don't want you to take my word for it. Why don't you have a listen? Now that's the sound of magic. Let's open one up and have a look. Okay, so let's test it out. Crunchy chicken ASMR. We should do like a whole series on that. I would love that. I could just eat chicken the whole time. Oh my God. Too much. Okay, so let's get on with the rest of our recipe, potato salad. That's what we need to make next. So what I've got here are some potatoes I've cooked in some boiling salted water, and then let's go back to those vegetables that we salted earlier. And if you pick them up, you just want to grab them all in a handful and then squeeze all the liquid out. Okay, so they go in with the potatoes, and we want some chopped hard-boiled egg, some spring onion, and then I'm just going to give this a light mash. The thing with Japanese potato salad is, to me, it's almost like a beautiful combination of mashed potato and potato salad. So you kind of want mashed but still lumpy potato. Now at this point I want to start putting in my creaminess, and I'm using a Japanese mayonnaise. You can find it in the Asian section of most supermarkets. It's kind of like in this squeezy bottle. You can use any kind of mayonnaise that you like. I just like the extra tang this one has. And then I also want some hot mustard, and then just a little dash of white vinegar that's going to give us some zippiness. Now just mix that through, and look how creamy everything is becoming. Now this is looking perfect. Now all that's left to do is pile our potato salad out into a bowl, and then we want some of these yummy crunchy pieces of chicken. And then finally just a few wedges of lemon to squeeze over that chicken just before you eat it. Yum, enjoy guys. I certainly am going to.